Once long ago, there was a powerful king who conquered a great kingdom. He was feared by his people and respected by all the lords of the other lands. One day the king said, "Being that I am so great, I should create a monument so that all the world may remember me for ages yet to come." So the king set out to look for a fitting treasure. On the way, he met a sculptor who offered to create a great statue for the king. "Though you are indeed very skilled," said the king, "many more people have your statues. Therefore, my greatness would seem diminished. Besides, statues collapse and break before long, and I seek something eternal." He left, continuing along the path. Next, he met a bard who offered to write beautiful ballads and poems about the king. "Though you are a great writer and singer," said the king, "I cannot accept your offer. You have sung of many kings and heroes, and yet I feel that none are equal to me. Moreover, songs stagnate, and people soon grow weary of them as they fade into legend. My greatness should always be in the forefront of people's minds." And so the king continued once more. Next, the king met an old man sitting by the side of the road. "Great king," said the old man, "I have heard of your troubles, and I have something that might prove very tempting for you." The king looked down at the old man. "What can a poor old man like you offer me that will equal or better all the treasures offered by the greatest artisans of my country?" The old man reached into his pocket and pulled out a small seed, offering it to the king. "From this seed will grow the mightiest tree in all the land," said the old man. "It shall touch the sky, and neither storm nor time will ruin it." The king was intrigued. Such a unique and wondrous monument would surely prove his greatness, so he took the seed and exclaimed, "Old man, this is surely a great gift. I deserve nothing better to prove my power." "Oh, thank you, my lord," said the old man, bowing. "I wish only to serve you." Pleased with the old man's display of fealty, the king took the seed before returning to his castle. Eager to show off his prize, the king immediately planted the seed in his courtyard. Suddenly, a small red root sprang forth from the seed and began to grow into a tiny tree. The tree grew so quickly that come evening time, it was already half the stature of the king. "This will truly be a mighty tree," exclaimed the king to his servants. "It has hardly been a day, and it is taller than my son." The tree continued to grow and grow and grow. Within a week, it covered the entire courtyard, and the king's servants could no longer pass through the area, so thick had the branches grown. All the while, the king grew more and more pleased with the situation. Even when the tree began to push into the castle wall, breaking the windows and blocking the doors, the king forbade any servant from cutting or in any way harming the tree. "To cut my tree is to harm me personally," said the king, just before the tree sealed shut the door to his chambers. The tree continued to grow, gnarled branches consuming the whole castle and the local peasant shelters. Each day the tree grew faster and faster. At last, people in the kingdom began to notice that the tree had trapped their king and grew concerned that they would suffer the same fate. The mayor of the town nearest to the castle had offered a reward of 1,000 gold pieces to anyone who could stop the tree from consuming their homes. At first, a great warrior and general in the king's army stepped forward to hopefully contain the tree. "I am powerful and quick of wit. I will prune this tree until it submits to my strength." Thus, with sword in hand, the warrior set about hacking at the tree. He ran around in a big circle and cut off any branches that grew too far. But soon the warrior grew tired. He was not able to keep up with the ever-extending branches. Indeed, they seemed only to grow back faster in response to his efforts. Soon the warrior collapsed from all of his exertions, and the tree enveloped him in its branches. Next, a brilliant engineer stepped forward. He had personally overseen the construction of the king's dam that brought water to all the people in the kingdom. "I'm intelligent, and I understand all things. Surely where the arrogant warrior failed, I will succeed." The engineer then set about building a great wall around the tree. Using his vast knowledge, he hoped to contain the tree within a mighty wall. He worked tirelessly to ensure that the tree would not grow beyond his carefully crafted boundary. However, this was futile. Every time the engineer increased the height of the wall, the tree grew taller. Each time the wall was made stronger, the tree only pushed harder. One day, while repairing a new set of cracks in his wall, the great tree suddenly heaved and collapsed the wall on the engineer. Without anyone to maintain it, the tree soon overcame the rest of the barrier and grew onwards.
"Oh, woe betide us!" cried the people of the town. "Is there no one who can save us?"
Just then, the king's personal gardener stepped forward and offered his services.
"What could you possibly do that the warrior and the engineer could not?" asked the mayor incredulously.
"I may not be smart or strong, but I know about plants," said the gardener. "I will try to solve the problem as best I can." With that, he picked up his shears and strode off to the edge of the tree, with the frightened townsfolk looking on. Approaching the tree, the gardener raised his shears and began to cut away at the tree's thick branches. However, instead of trying to push the tree back, he cut a small hole into the tree and began to climb inside. The gardener chopped and sliced and cut at the branches, pushing further and further into the tree's center. The branches clawed at him and tore at his clothes. His hands became bloody, and his arms and legs ached as he struggled to push deeper and deeper. It almost seemed as though the branches were trying to push him out as quickly as they could, growing thorny and thick with each cut they received. However, the gardener did not give up. He worked his way through the pain and the blood until finally he came to the center of the tree. Taking one look at the tree, he identified the lone red root that fixed it to the ground when the king first planted the seed. The gardener raised his shears and in a single motion cut the root away from the tree. As soon as the root was severed, the tree began to wither and die. The branches that covered the castle and blocked the windows and doors fell away and decayed, freeing all those trapped within. The king, despite all of his power, died within his chambers, as he was unable to eat or drink while blocked off from the rest of the castle. The queen came down and thanked the gardener for saving the kingdom. As a reward, the queen offered many treasures and gifts to the gardener, but above all was the gift of a bristlepine tree that was to be planted in the place of the king's own malignant seed. This long-lived tree would serve as a reminder to all of the bravery and humility shown by the lowly gardener who managed to overcome the folly of the king.